We often treat charisma like a genetic gift, a spark some people are born with while everyone else is left behind. But social skill isn't a biological accident, it's a developed trait. For the first 20 years of your life, society places you in a high-volume social incubator. You're packed into school buildings with hundreds of other kids your age, forcing you to interact, experiment, and collide every single day. The children who grow up to be the most charismatic are often the class clowns and the rule breakers. This happens because they are willing to accept the risk of punishment in exchange for more opportunities to speak their minds and test their humor on a live audience. Charisma in these early years is a mathematical result. By taking the highest number of uninhibited social risks, these kids accumulate more repetitions than everyone else. That incubator disappears the moment you enter adulthood. The constant, forced interaction is replaced by a professional world with much higher stakes. In this new environment, the fear of offending a coworker or looking foolish leads to a social freeze. You find yourself trapped at the coffee machine, stuck in a loop of safe, sterile small talk about the weather or the weekend. You might be desperate for a real connection, but your internal filter blocks anything that feels risky. You become a polite background character, terrified to say anything that hasn't been pre-approved by a mental HR department. When you prioritize politeness above all else to avoid being disliked, you end up with a different problem. You become entirely forgettable. Breaking out of that cycle requires a shift in focus. Instead of walking into a room wondering how to get people to like you, look for ways to make the other person feel good. To see how this works in practice, look at a simple request: asking an acquaintance to help you carry a heavy, expensive pressure washer to your car. The dissection starts with the listener's name. In a crowded room, hearing your own name acts as a psychological anchor. It pulls your attention away from the group and signals that you, specifically, are being prioritized. Following the name with a smile provides immediate appreciation, while the direct ask makes that person feel uniquely selected for the task, rather than just being one of many. Using the word help changes the dynamic. It's no longer a command, it's an admission that the speaker is dependent on you. That vulnerability creates an immediate ego boost for the person being asked. Finally, by mentioning the high cost of the item, the speaker signals deep trust in your responsibility. They might even pick the strongest person in the room specifically to validate the physical skill they know that person values. What looks like effortless charm is actually a rapid stacking of micro-decisions, each one engineered to elevate the other person's status. This isn't an excuse to start kissing up. If you shower people with fake compliments, they will sense the lack of authenticity and stop trusting your intentions. You can avoid being fake by using the unbottling technique. When you naturally notice something positive about someone, don't bottle it up out of awkwardness. Simply force yourself to say that thought out loud. To move past polite small talk, you need banter. Playful teasing shows that you are comfortable enough to be your actual, authentic self, which invites the other person to relax as well. However, a clever insult that comes at someone else's expense will ruin the connection. While the rest of the room might laugh at a sick burn, the target feels singled out and alienated, and your social standing drops instantly. Effective banter builds a bridge of shared vulnerability. Tearing someone down only serves to heat your own ego while leaving the other person in the cold. These verbal techniques are just the baseline. True charisma requires you to eventually move past words and speak through your actions. This starts with active listening. If you pay attention, you'll find opportunities to champion others, like bringing up a friend's hidden talent in a group where they are too humble to brag about it themselves. You should look for chances to offer unprompted favors, unexpected gifts, or exclusive invitations. These are the moments that prove you are thinking about the other person even when they aren't in the room. You are aiming for a feeling of flattering shock. It's the realization that occurs when someone thinks, "I can't believe you went out of your way just for me." Charisma is a counterintuitive shift in focus. When you become the spotlight that illuminates the people around you, you naturally become the person they want to be near.